The World Cup final is here. My name is Corbin from the Parlay Club, and I've got the best bets and the plays the books do not want you knowing about. As always, drop a like, comment, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. It's the final, so it's the last video in the series. I hope that the people that have been watching these have learned and made money off these. Certainly been an up and down World Cup for my client plays. I think we've basically came out break even or even a slight profit due to how well the last game in the groups and so on have been since then. Full disclosure, my semi-final plays were not good in the slightest. The one time I went against the French, I had them beat. I thought they would at least score, if not beat, the Spanish last time out. That went horrendously bad. And then I had England to go through versus Argentina, and that looked good for about 80 odd minutes and then kind of crumbled. Let's just get right into it. So obviously the final is Spain versus Argentina. Spain minus 150 to win outright, so that's to lift the trophy at the end of it. Plus 125 on the money line, as you can see on DraftKings. It's quite interesting. 65% of the money's on Argentina, 35% on Spain, which is heavily surprising to me. Get right into it. So obviously, I think like most people, I have the Spanish winning this, or at least I thought most people until I saw that. Um, I think the way that they played against the French is almost identically how they're going to play against the Argentinians. They just control the game so well. It doesn't really matter what firepower you've got when if you don't have the ball, you can't score. And defensively, they're so solid. I had them as a good defensive team, but I didn't think they were that good. I mean, there were heroic performances from Rodri, Cucurella, Pedro Porro surprised me. He was phenomenal, I thought. And they're going to need to do the same here against, really, it's own Messi and Alvarez are kind of the two you have to watch for on the Argentinian side. But I feel like the way that the Spanish are going to control the ball, they're just going to suffocate Argentina in so many ways. Um, the Argentinian players, quite a few of them are getting on in age. You have the likes of De Paul, who's getting on in age. Obviously, Messi's old, but he never did much pressing anyway. I think it all just kind of leads to wearing the Argentina down. I think the pressure is going to be too much for them, and keeping the ball, they just do it so well in all areas of the pitch. And then on the flip side, we know that Argentina just always concede at the minute. They have a shocking defense, and I think all of that just leads forward to Spain having a great game here. The way that Argentina got through, in my opinion, was more to England's lack of belief or playing rather than Argentina doing something wildly crazy, which we'll get onto in a second. So obviously, I'm all over Spain in this matchup. The way I'm going to attack it is not either of those props. As most people know, I love a draw no bet. If I can find it, I was just looking at it a minute ago. There it is. It's minus 180 on draw no bet. And the reason I'll go through why I'm more confident in this. So the difference between this and say lift the cup, so it's an extra 30 cents. Obviously, if it is nil, if it's a draw at the end of 90 minutes, we go to extra time. Nearly every extra time I watch is no goals and everyone's just playing not to lose the game, and it ends up going to penalties anyway. If it goes to penalties, I think Argentina are almost favourites with Emi Martinez in goal. I just want nothing to do with any game when it goes to penalties, pretty much. It's a lottery. So to avoid the one area I give Argentina a head is the penalties. I'd rather just if Spain went on to win in extra time or penalties, I could happily sleep knowing that I got my money back. It's the same way I ended up approaching 3% or 2 or 3% extra that I put on PSG in the final against Arsenal was draw no bet. And that's the angle I'm going to go here. It will be a client play with the minus 180. I'll probably put it with something to bring the juice down slightly. But I love that play. Likewise, I do think they win in 90 minutes, so I do like this plus 125. A couple of other avenues that I'm going to look to attack. It didn't work in the last round because I had France to score, but I think the Spanish do score here. Obviously, England scored against Argentina. They've pretty much conceded in every game, I'm pretty sure, other than maybe like the first couple. Definitely all the knockout stages, Argentina have conceded, and I think the Spanish will have far too much quality for them in that area. So, uh, Spain money line, Spain draw no bet, Spain to score, all areas and stuff that I like. We'll get on. Let's go for Olmo to have a shot. I mentioned it in last video, and DraftKings' price on Olmo to have a shot was absolutely crazy. Yeah. So at minus 1800, you wouldn't play. However, other books that I've looked at, such as Bet365, which is the best book by a country mile, minus 600. So I love that. On the flip side, I feel like Argentina's route to victory here is part the bus and countering on Spain. They're not going to have possession. They're not going to be able to push up the pitch. And they're going to have to get the ball to Messi because he's the only one that's going to make anything happen. But it's so hard to push the Spanish back. We saw with France. You saw the French front four of Mbappe, Elise, Doué when he came on, and Barcola and Dembele. They just got absolutely nothing pretty much all game. And I just see the same happening here. I don't see how Argentina have the pace to get up the pitch. You look who they're playing. So they basically play like a 4-4-4-2 kind of thing but they don't really play with wingers. So it's all very compact in the middle, which is where I think the Spanish are the best, is through the middle with Rodri and Fabian Ruiz and Kubasi at the back. Like their spine through the middle is kind of where I feel like is the hardest to attack, and that's the route that they would uh, be going. It's also the lack of pace in this Argentinian side. You have, I don't know if it's going to show me the lineups just so I can try and emphasize it. I don't. Oh, they kind of got it here. So it says 4-4-2. If you can't really see this on the left hand side. Let me there we go. So yeah, so the Spanish have these three in midfield, which is going to be Olmo, Pedri, maybe Pedri or Fabian Ruiz, and then Rodri sitting here. This will be DePaul. DePaul is not a right winger; he's a centre midfielder, and Lo Celso as well. I don't think Lo Celso is going to be playing, but it's probably going to be Messi in behind or just anywhere over here, and then these four are all going to be very compact in the middle. So I don't see how they're going to attack or get up the pitch because they have no legs. Alvarez has speed, but Messi's 30 something years old now. He's nimble and agile, but he hasn't got the speed to carry the ball from like halfway all the way to the edge of the Spanish box. Which is going to lead into the next prop that I want to talk about. Again, I don't think DraftKings has them. It doesn't. Maybe if you go, sometimes they unlock when you go to the same game parlay tab. Let's see. Oh, they only have the standard. Even that, I like Argentina under corners for the same reason. I don't see how they get up the pitch and really threaten the Spanish side. I would always take an alt. That's the way I always go. I love having that kind of cushion. So I think Spain to probably have more corners as well. Have they got most corners? Maybe like a race to 5. Again, I like the Spanish on that. I think Spanish will get quite a few corners against an Argentinian side basically sitting behind the ball. And then the last prop I want to talk about in this game is cards. Again, over 3.5 sounds pretty good, but I want to target the Argentinian side. I feel like in the same way they played against England, they're going to give away a lot of fouls. They're going to rough up the team. They're going to play quite dirty. And I feel like that's another way to get under the Spanish's skin and try and disrupt the flow and momentum of the game. So I'm going to go for Argentina had 3 cards in the last game. I wouldn't be surprised to see another 2 or 3. Maybe even more than that, quite honestly. So in summary, I'm going for Spain draw no bet. I think the Spanish win in 90 minutes, but I think draw no bet is the safer avenue. Argentina under corners, Olmo to have a shot, and Argentinian yellow cards is my favourite. And then quickly touching on the game for third place, which is France versus England. This is for the third place game. I really don't feel like you can have a bet pre-match on this game. You just need to wait and see who plays in the lineups. England might bench their whole team. The French might not. Might be the other way around. You just can't guess. I'd have the French as a much stronger side. The England camp is kind of falling apart. There's handbags all over the place, quite honestly, and they just don't seem to be getting on. I think they want this tournament over as quick as possible. Only way I could see to attack this game is overs, over 2.5, both teams to score. Mbappe to score if he does start. He's greedy. He's going to be going for top goal scorer and all of that stuff. Likewise, maybe with Kane. So I think you could probably take both of those to score, quite honestly. But yeah, until you see the lineups, I think it is nigh on impossible to call a game where you have no idea who is playing, other than goals, because I think no matter who plays in that, I think there will be goals. Let's see. The only thing is young player of the tournament. Yeah, Yamal's now minus 230. I regret not taking this sooner. I guess the like in the French in that match was kind of what threw me off. But minus 230 feels like a gimme here almost. Like he hasn't been great, but he's just got the name factor. He had a few bright moments. Everyone would rather pick a winger or an exciting player over a defender. So I think that all leads to Yamal, top goal scorer. Again, I think Mbappe and Messi are level. If Mbappe starts, I think this minus 125 is great. Player of the tournament, again, they've got Messi either way at minus 800. I mean, fair enough. He's basically carried this team till this point. Golden Glove, again, doesn't look like you can really do anything with this kind of market in the slightest. And that's kind of it, I think, for this tournament. Obviously, we'll be back with Premier League and European football throughout the tournament. If you want my best bets, my client plays, come to my link me in my bio. And then if you click this top one, it takes you to my Dub Club, where you can use code 50 for 50% off a monthly subscription. So there's one right in the middle. So it's now $35 instead of 70. Having a real great time. I finally managed to catch up on the spreadsheet. If it's going to load it, I'll show you. Managed to log every play, and we are plus 100, and let's just go right to the top. 156 units, which, as I said, given French Open, we made money back. We only had a small loss on the French Open, but Wimbledon and the second half of the World Cup has kind of shone through. So yeah, if you want to see what kind of plays we have, transparency, kind of see the records, all of this stuff, see that I'm not just talking rubbish, quite honestly, come to, again, the link me. You want the spreadsheet, the first link, and you can see all the plays. Huge weekend ahead. Darts World Match Play is a huge darts tournament. We'll have plays for that. We'll have plays like the Spanish. We've got to put that with something. Golf round scores. I think we're 3-1 on, or maybe 3-1-1 or something on round scores this weekend. F1 and big weekend of MMA and boxing. A couple of plays I really like in there. One up for clients that's a 3% at the minute, and possibly a 4 or 5% play coming out later today. I love the play that I am eyeing up. So yeah, code 50 gets you 50% off. Let me know what kind of content you want. We'll obviously have European football back in possibly a month, I think it is. Try and fill the space with some other sports. We have American football, all of that fun stuff. So yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.